Recording in progress.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Are you muted, Attorney Thomas?
No, I'm gonna try to figure out how to. I'm gonna stay as an attendee right now. Okay, so will that mute me?
No, you have to turn your volume on.
Okay.
Is Alex Rossetti on yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I would imagine that he got stuck in that traffic also.
You said he was going.
So why is
Okay.
it back up on?
Is that good?
eight?
I just
It's
did.
off the highway. There's people trying to get off. I
Yeah.
was coming from exit 12, Richard Ave was backed up. And then I got off 13 and that was backed up.
That's a minute. I came right through.
Where's that? The accident at Constitution in Long Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right when you get off the exit, if you were to take a right. So
Oh, right.
it's backed up where people are trying to get around.
Okay, I want to start. Good evening, everyone. My name is Virginia Harger, Chairperson of the Shelton Planning and Zoning Commission. Today is Wednesday, November 15th, 2023, and a special meeting of the Shelton Planning and Zoning Commission being conducted in City Hall via Zoom and through a phone link is hereby called to order as of 6:05 p.m. This meeting may also be viewed live and remotely on YouTube. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and I invite those participating remotely to do the same. I pledge allegiance to
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. I'll do a roll call. The commission, please verbally indicate you're present when your name is called. Commissioner Parkins?
Present.
Commissioner Motto?
Here.
Commissioner Tiki?
Present.
Commissioner Lascos?
Present.
Alternate Commissioner Onofrio?
Present.
Alternate Commissioner Donato?
Present.
Myself, Commissioner Harger. Ms. Castro, our Assistant P&Z Administrator.
Present.
Mr. Panico, our Consultant.
Here,
Ms. Renasos, our Recording Secretary.
Present.
Ms. Charbonneau, our Stenographer.
Present.
And is Mr. Rossetti on here yet? Okay, just give me a heads up when he does. Okay, for the record, Commissioner Kelly is not available for this evening's meeting. Alternate Commissioner Onofrio, you are being seated for Commissioner Kelly.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Couple of points before continuing with tonight's agenda. Ms. Castro will act as a Zoom meeting host. Commissioners will be able to make comments throughout the meeting. And the chair asks that you please identify yourself and wait to be recognized to make sure we're not all speaking over each other. And to make sure our recording secretary is clear as to who is speaking. On the agenda this evening are 3 public hearings. This is the protocol the commission will be following for each. Ms. Castro will indicate if any written comments were received from members of the public no later than 24 hours before the start of this evening's meeting to be read into the record. The commission can ask questions during the applicant's comments or at the conclusion of the comments, and the applicant and or associates can answer commission questions at the time they are presented or at the conclusion of the comments. After the applicant's presentation has concluded, chair will recognize those members of the public who have indicated they wish to address the commission on any new material since the last time the application was on the agenda. After the last person for the public has been given the opportunity to speak, the applicant's attorney and or associates will be given the opportunity to address any comments or questions from the audience. If the commission feels further information is needed from the applicant, the chair will ask for a motion to continue the public hearing. If a public hearing does remain open, the commission is not allowed to make any public comment, discuss any part of the applicant and or his associate's presentation, or receive any additional information from anyone. If the commission feels the applicant and or his associates have answered all questions and have addressed all concerns from the commission, public, the chair will ask for a motion to close the public hearing. The commission can choose to discuss the application immediately following the close of the public hearing or at an upcoming commission meeting. In either case, the commission will be asked by the chair on how it wants to proceed. I'd also like to share couple of guidelines for members of the public who choose to speak at the point in the public hearing when I ask for public comment. First, please identify yourself. If you are attending here in person in the auditorium, by signing up on the sign-up sheets here at the front table. If you are using Zoom, please use Zoom's raise your hand feature or dial *9 on your phone. After you're identified by Ms. Castro, please state and spell your name and your address to assist the recording secretary and stenographer when they're preparing the minutes and transcript of the meeting. Please direct your comments and questions to the chair and the chair only, not to the applicant and/or his associates. Comments from the public should address specific criteria of the zoning regulations, the merits of the application, and be new information, not a repeat of comments previously presented. Members of the public are expected to practice appropriate etiquette by being quiet, observant, and respectful. Disruptive attendees may be removed from verbally participating. The chair is exercising her ability to take agenda items out of order, and we will begin with public hearing item C, re-subdivision of the 58 more or less acres known as the Mass property, and I'll ask Commissioner Motto to please read the legal notice.
Commission action to approve the maps for re-subdivision of 58 plus or minus acres, assessors map 105, lots 11, 14, maps 104, lots 25, 28, and 31, and map 91, lot 29, in the area known as the Moss property. The area is zoned IA-1. This re-subdivision is planned for future industrial development. Maps are titled Moss property by Lewis Associates, dated October 31st, 2022, and revised. This property is generally bound as follows. Northerly by 83-100 Walnut Avenue, easterly by Blacks Hill Road, southerly by the Sunwood condominiums on Sunwood Drive, and westerly by properties on Regent Drive and 301 Kings Highway.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Motto. Posted on the city's website are the two re-subdivision maps. Ms. Castro, was any correspondence received within the time period for this proposal, but not yet posted to the city's website, that we need to acknowledge for the record?
No.
Okay. Just as background, on November 30th of 2022, the commission approved the concept subdivision map. The commission is being asked to approve the re-subdivision map, which is split up across 2 pages, as was the concept subdivision map. And we'll start with the public portion. Ms. Castro, is there anyone signed up on the sheet? Okay, we'll mention that we do start off with elected officials of the city of Shelton that may be here in the auditorium. And I don't see anyone that qualifies. Is there any elected official indicating by Zoom or by phone?
No.
No. Okay, so then we'll go to those in the audience that are here. Dominic Thomas is signed up.
Thank you very much. Madam Chairman, Dominic Thomas, 315 Main Street, Durban, Connecticut. I do represent one of the entities that is purchasing one of the lots. I also represent some adjacent landowners, and I just have a question concerning sheet 1, which is the shows or reflects Constitution Boulevard as it approaches the Moss property. And the question I have is whether or not the parcels that are identified as property of the city of Shelton outside the confines of Constitution Boulevard are right-of-way for Constitution Boulevard or are separate parcels. In other words, in a couple of instances, I have received inquiries concerning access to Constitution Boulevard along these areas. And the one thing I would note, because I did receive an inquiry which has not gone anywhere, related to someone interested in the Simonetti property, which is zoned by my investigation. When I looked at your rezoning, it is zoned IA2, so it's zoned industrial. But it does not, if those are separate parcels and not right of way, then it does not have access
Okay,
to the industrial road. It has access to Blacks Hill Road, which is as an industrial property, having access to a very small road. So those are my two questions whenever whoever's asking. Thank you very much.
okay.
Oh.
I just want to know for the record that Mr. Rossetti, our administrator, did join us at 6:13 PM. Is there anyone from Ms. Castro, anybody from other staff, Corporation Counsel, or anyone?
Yes.
Okay,
Attorney Teodosi.
okay. Attorney Teodoso is present on our Zoom, and I'd like to acknowledge him for the record. Attorney Teodoso, is there anything that you could share with us regarding Attorney Thomas's questions?
I was trying to follow Dominic as to what portion of property he was alluding to. I have a map in front of me, but if you could ask him to re-identify the property, I think I can address it.
Okay, when you see Bridgeport Avenue going
Sheet
horizontally.
one of one,
Mhm.
Constitution Boulevard goes up to Constitution Boulevard West goes up. I understand and I'm aware that the property to the right is owned by the city of Shelton, is a lot extending it on, and I don't think it's zoned IA2. To the left of the Constitution Boulevard West, what is listed as Constitution, there are parcels of land identified as land of the city of Shelton. And it is property that was acquired by the city, to my understanding, by eminent domain. And it is not zonable, meaning those parcels are not in compliance with your zoning requirements, even if they're zoned R1, because of their shape and size of them. And then to the right, once you get beyond Blacks Hill Road, is another parcel that abuts the property identified as now informally Simonetti development, which, to my understanding of your zone change, was zoned IA. When you did the zone change, you zoned it IA2 along with the Moss property. So my question is, those parcels that are outside of what appears to be defined as the Constitution Boulevard West roadway, are they parcels of the city of Shelton, separate parcels, which would deny access to abutting landowners to Constitution Boulevard West, or are they part of the right-of-way? And if they're part of the right-of-way, is there going to be a non-access restriction?
Okay, first of all, I think you mean IA1, not IA2.
Yeah, IA1, I'm sorry, my apology.
All right. And currently, those parcels just exist as IA1 parcels. There's no extended right-of-way beyond, if you will, the footprint that is shown there. So that land is owned by the city of Shelton. It's non-accessible right now.
Okay, thank you.
That
That was my question. Yeah,
That was a pretty simple answer.
That was
for
a-
very
yes, a-
long-winded question.
right. It does imply access.
When
for
has
those
the
people.
Attorney Thomas not tried to dot the i's and cross the t's? There you go.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
The other thing I'll mention is I think that the physical layout of that property, if you've looked at it, makes it physically inaccessible too. There's a large swath of roadway that is below grade substantially if you take a ride up there.
correct. Yeah, it does meet grade at some point, but there are other areas which are probably physically inaccessible.
Very good. All right, let me just ask, is there anybody else here in the audience that had not signed up but had wanted to comment on this? Okay, hearing none, let's go on to those participating remotely. Ms. Castro, anyone participating by Zoom that has indicated they would like to comment on this proposal, or they've dialed *9?
No.
No, okay. All right, any questions from any of the commissioners? And for those commissioners participating remotely. And Mr. Panico, do you have any comments
No, not at this time.
Okay. All right, well, seeing that there aren't any further comments, is there a motion to close or continue the public hearing for this agenda item?
Make a motion to close.
Okay, there's a motion to close from Commissioner Motto. Is there a second?
Parkins will second.
Okay, so the motion made by Commissioner Motto to close public hearing, seconded by Commissioner Parkins. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Nafrio,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Chair will recognize Attorney Teodoso for the presentation of a resolution in this matter.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. And before I recite this motion, I just want the panel to understand that I want to make a specific reference to the map so that it's clear on the record. So you will hear me quoting the map. It'll sound a bit redundant. All right.
Okay,
So the motion is move to reapprove the re-subdivision of 58 plus or minus acres known as Assessor's Map 105, lots 11-14, map 104, lots 25, 28-31, and map 91, lot 29, in the area known as the Moss property, as presented to the commission with maps showing a re-subdivision maps known as the Moss property, Constitution Boulevard West, Blacks Hill Road, and Bridgeport Avenue, with 2 accompanying maps. I'm sorry, Madam Chairman. I'm going to apologize to the board. I was reading the old motion. I have to reread it, and I apologize for the confusion. So
Sure.
please let me start again. Move to reapprove the re-subdivision of 58 plus or minus acres known as Assessor's Map 105, lots 11-14, map 104, lots 25, lots 28-31, and map 91, lot 29, in the area known as the Moss property, as presented to the commission, with maps showing re-subdivision maps known as the Moss property, Constitution Boulevard West, Blacks Hill Road, and Bridgeport Avenue, with 2 submitted maps entitled Re-subdivision Map, Mass Property, Constitution Boulevard West, Blacks Hill Road, and Bridgeport Avenue, parenthetical CT DOT 714, Shelton, Connecticut, dated October 31st, 2022, by Lewis Associates, sheets 1 and 2.
okay, thank you, Attorney Teodoso. Can I make a motion to move for discussion?
Make a motion to move the resolution for discussion.
Okay, and is there a second to discuss?
I'll second.
Okay, so on the motion to move for discussion made by Commissioner Parkins, seconded by Commissioner Motto, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
alternate Commissioner Nafrio,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Okay, so any discussion needed? No, okay, hearing none. Is there a motion to approve or deny the resolution?
Make a motion to approve the resolution.
Okay, Commissioner Parkins has made a motion to approve the resolution. Is there a second?
I'll second it, Commissioner Laskos.
Thank you. So on the motion to approve made by Commissioner Motto, Parkins rather, sorry, seconded by Commissioner Laskos. I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
alternate Commissioner Nafrio,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion has been approved by a vote of 6-0. Okay, going on, our next agenda item that I was going to call was to be a public hearing for the commission's proposal for the use of native plants and commercial landscaping with the material necessary for review by the commission, and the public is not yet ready. So we will need to continue the public hearing to a later date. Is there a motion to continue the public hearing for this agenda item?
I'll make a motion to continue.
Okay, motion to continue from Commissioner Motto. Is there a second?
I'll second Commissioner Onofrio.
Thank you. So on the motion to continue made by Commissioner Motto, seconded by Commissioner Onofrio. Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
Commissioner Motto,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Motion is passed by vote of 6-0. Okay, so our next public hearing is for application 2322, Dominic Thomas for 217 Long Hill Crossroad LLC. Commissioner Motto, would you please read the public legal notice?
Sure. Initiation of application 23-22, Dominic Thomas for 217 Long Hill Crossroads LLC at 217 Long Hill Crossroad and Anco Engineering Inc. Assessors map 51 lot 30. For a special exception application to expand the existing light industrial building by 53,200 square feet and add 43 additional parking spaces. Site plans are titled Proposed Building Additions, Anco Engineering Inc. by James R. Swift, dated August 24th, 2024.
Sorry.
That's interesting.
Boom, boom, boom. Go ahead.
And, or was I? Okay, dated August 24th, 2023, and revised. The architectural plans are titled Anco Engineering Expansion by John A. Wicko, dated January 5th, 2023, and revised. This property is generally bound as follows: northerly by Long Hill Crossroad, easterly by City of Shelton Properties and Shelton Intermediate School on 565 Long Hill Avenue, southerly by City of Shelton Properties, westerly by 163 Long Hill Crossroads.
Thank you, Commissioner Motto. Posted on the city's website is a special exception application, the statement of uses and standards, site plans, architecturals and floor plans, engineering report, variance, lists of abutting property owners with 200 feet, certificates of mailing, and sign posting photos. Ms. Castro, any other reports, materials, or correspondence received within the time period for this application that we need to acknowledge for the record?
No.
Okay. I see that the applicant is present, so please identify yourself for the record and proceed.
Dominic Thomas, excuse me, Conan Thomas, 315 Main Street, Durban, Connecticut, representing the applicant in this matter of 217 Long Hill Crossroads LLC and Anco Engineering Inc. I would ask, I'm not sure if Jim Swift is in the, should be a participant. He should be signing in. I just spoke with him. Unless he's having trouble signing in. Present with me in the auditorium are Dan Lazinski, the of Anco Engineering, and John Wicko, who is the architect. And Mr. Swift, who is not in there yet.
No.
I just talked to him a little while ago, was supposed to be checking in. I will open up by saying this is an application for an expansion of the Anco Engineering Building on 217 Long Hill Crossroads. I can screen share for those and look at the statement of use, which is relatively simple. Anco Engineering, which has been there for quite some time, currently operates an existing 141,922 square feet of light industrial facility. And they are proposing to expand its operation by adding 53,200 square feet to its building with additional outside storage and parking. We did have to obtain a variance. The reason for the variance is because of your setback that you have from 75 feet from residential zones that is that has some restrictions in it that would have prevented the expansion. the reason for the variance is that the area of the residential zone that we are talking about, where the issue was most, is all Shelton, City of Shelton open space and Long Hill School, Long Hill Crossroads, not Crossroads, Long Hill School, Long Hill Elementary School. And the school is up by Long Hill Road. The rear of it is a wetlands area that is not usable for the school. So based on those requirements and the topography, the application for the variance was made and approved to allow us to make this application. The size of the expansion and the number of parking spaces result in this having to be a special exception as opposed to a regular site plan use, because the use itself is a site plan approved use. The property, as it says in my statement of use, is 14.96 acres, over 650,000 square feet, and the proposed use is to add the additional building with 43 additional parking spaces and 51 additional reserve, which hopefully Mr. Swift will be on to go over with you in more detail. I left my engineering credentials back in the office, so we'll have to take care of it. The operations, as it says in the statement of use, can be 3 shifts per day, 7 days a week, and obviously this is operated. So he's still not. I can have a second to
Sure.
utilize the cell phone connection. Are you having trouble? Okay, let me email you. I'll email you the link
agenda.
again. Okay? All right. Okay. The link
I can do it
is,
so you don't have to lose your screen.
okay, do you have Jim's email?
Maybe he had the same problem. I had to update Zoom before I could get on,
Oh,
which throws everything off.
yeah, it sure does.
I did it last week.
Maybe in the meantime, Attorney Thomas, can you just clarify the expansion is both horizontal and vertical, or just horizontal?
We do have Mr. Whitco here, the architect.
Okay.
And I can call up hold on, close a second, I can back to the Zoom. Is there a second floor added?
Yes.
Yeah, there is a second floor added. Mr. Whitco will go over the detail of it. I think that's
Okay.
office
Yep.
also. And John, you can come up and.
Yeah, okay.
Are you gonna be able to put it up on the thing down?
Hi,
I
John
can do
Whitco,
that. Yeah,
58.
I'll have
Prospect
go over
Street.
the architectural first. Let me just.
I sent it over to him.
About it, Alexander was very correct about not losing your. Not losing the screen, which I seem to have lost the Zoom screen kind of.
That icon down in the corner.
Somewhere here in the hotel. Go back to the post.
That's what I'm trying to do, but I think I'm in the screen share. I'm gonna stop share. There you go. That's what I need to do. Stop share. Okay.
Jim's.
Okay, so Mr. Swift is with us, and do you want? us
Well,
to-
I mean, we have
Mr. Whitco,
Mr. Whitco up here.
okay. Mr. Whitco, why don't you identify yourself for the record
Thank you.
and go ahead.
John Whitco, architect, 58 Prospect Street in Milford, my office. To answer your question, yeah, there is horizontal,
It's up on the screen now.
and the vertical portion is the office addition, which is a second floor
So Mr.
to the
Swift is with
existing
us.
first
Do you want
floor.
us to-
We have
Mr. Whitco,
Mr. Whitco
Yes.
up there.
okay. Mr. Wickow, why don't you identify yourself for the record
Thank you.
and go ahead.
John Wicko, architect, 58 Prospect Street in Milford, my office. To answer your question, yeah, there is horizontal. Except for the screen now. And the vertical portion is.
Yeah, also, I am.
Okay, he's good.
Well, no, we can't hear him. Turn his speaker off in the back.
That
Mr.
was
Swift,
you?
could you turn your speaker down in the background, please?
Turn it off.
Turn it off.
Well,
We've,
when he goes to talk though.
John Wicko, architect, 58 Prospect Street in Milford, my office. To answer.
if I mute
Jim,
him,
are you playing
you too?
the recording? Were you watching the meeting on YouTube before we're able to sign on? If so, maybe you need to close out of that. That's the delay.
Mr. Swift, could you turn your speaker down in the background, please?
The
Turn it off.
When he goes to talk though.
Satellite.
Yeah, right. Just happened.
Okay, is he? He's muted. Okay,
All right.
all right, go ahead, Mr. Wicko.
Thank you. Yeah, the office is over a portion of the first floor. The height of the office is 27 feet 6 inches, which is the second floor. The function of the office is open office, private offices. We're introducing an elevator and a stair that to give access to that second floor and support facilities.
Want the next bit?
Yeah, where are you? 86. Those are the smaller scale, probably not. They're there just for record to show the entire building, A6 and 7, A8, or we can go right to the presentation, the color. I can
Color
talk about that.
presentation?
Yeah, that shows the second floor office with the stair tower at the center with the ANCO logo sign on a white vertical element, probably a scored stucco or an architectural metal. And the second story stucco would match the first, that gray color that's existing. And we're introducing a pitched roof with metal roofing just at the office area. And the addition itself is the warehouse manufacturing facility. It's rendered in the same color. The reproduction I apologize for, but it's not quite that canary yellow, but it's a very nice, yeah, kind of a tan, a little brighter tan, but it will be the same color that's there. I could talk a little about the manufacturing building if you'd like to hear. Maybe first, in addition to the large addition and the office, there are other alterations, which if we can go
Want to
to,
go back to the architectural?
yeah, A2 maybe,
A2?
which is the overall plan. Maybe one for the A1, I guess it is. Yeah, those shaded areas show the areas of work, the large addition, the manufacturing, the office, which is up towards the bottom of the sheet. And then there is a canopy A, which is identified, which is existing open. We're going to be enclosing one portion of it and adding a loading dock there. There is a new roof canopy, which is the same as the existing A canopy, which is on the left side of the sheet. We're adding that at the existing drive-in door. And then
That's canopy C.
that's canopy C.
Okay.
And then on the addition side, the far right is another open canopy D, which spans the width of the building, which is about 55 feet, 52 feet. And that is open. It protects 2 drive-in overhead doors and a loading dock. And that is And then the interior, which looks like we can see everything here. The interior of the new is to be used for manufacturing process. We're raising the ceiling or the roof of the structure from the existing with a 6-foot step to allow for a more modern and using more technical methods. And each bay, there's 3 bays that you can see, will have rail cranes to facilitate the production.
Is it to automate or is it to just?
If they're able to use more flexible methods, they have more height, they can adjust different products and also different machines that need more room.
Not necessarily reducing jobs though, correct?
Oh, no, it's an expansion for sure. Yeah, they're packed. They need more room.
No, I meant
Adding
people.
on.
Adding
Yeah,
people.
they're adding people, right? Yeah. Oh, no, it's not like they're robots or anything.
Yeah.
That-
Yeah.
well, that's what I
Yeah,
meant
yeah,
by
yeah.
automation, like, you know, some of
Yeah.
these,
No, it's more just to get the height to allow different things to happen.
That's why
Um,
they need more parking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
right, right.
And then in addition to that, there's a cafeteria, a unisex lavatory, and some mechanical rooms that are up in the new old section, if you will, that canopy D. Without getting into too much greater detail, that's it. Oh, the addition height is 28 feet from the slab of the new manufacturing. So it's still relatively low in height.
What do they manufacture there? Finally ask.
Everything metal. And certainly Mr. Lisinski can answer that, but highly specialized and engineered products that are just,
Metal.
it's a wonder to see the
Mhm.
creativity and the skill and care that they have at the facility is like none I've ever seen.
I'll look forward to hearing. from
Yeah.
Mr. Lozinski.
He'll enjoy talking about it.
Yeah, I read a little bit here and I can't picture it, so,
Yeah, it's
yeah. Oh,
it's good.
what kind of products? What?
Yeah,
customers?
Dan will certainly, yeah, all
Yeah.
kinds of customers.
Do you have a drawing of this on the lot?
The site plan?
Yeah, that's the
site
site
plan,
plan
that's
for
Jim.
Mr. Swift,
When Jim,
Oh, okay.
that's when
Yeah.
Jim does.
Okay.
That's when Jim does.
but that's
Yeah.
pretty much
It's
it. I can
like-
answer
yeah.
questions as we go, but thank you.
Thank you.
And with that, we can switch to Jim, if there's no questions for Mr. Wickoff.
Nope.
Jim, can you do your own screen sharing or do you want me?
I can do it if,
Okay,
Okay, Mr. Swift, just identify yourself for the record.
sure. This is, my name is Jim Swift, a professional engineer, landscape architect. I could get the, site plans, or you can do it, Dom, if you have it set up already. For a screen share.
there you go.
There we go. So the basic plan of this development was all pretty much set up when we proposed the first edition in 2016. That was when we started with the zoning board of appeals because of the large areas in the back of the site. Technically, we need a 75-foot buffer from a residential zone, but that land extends all the way up to Long Hill Avenue in the back of the school and other properties, and it's also separated by a wetlands. And the zoning board of appeals agreed with us that 75-foot setback for a lot of those pavements and things really didn't apply. So that was our setup, and the Planning and Zoning Commission did see in 2016 the portion of the building that falls right about where it says existing one-story building, or where you see it there. And at that time, we also proposed and showed on the engineering plans a flattening of the grade, excavation of the grade, preparation for drainage facilities. where the proposed building now sits. So when we start talking about inland wetlands and things like that, we obtained all those permits that we needed for that back in 2016. So now what we're talking about is strictly the site plan approval for most of the building areas, and the special permit is required by virtue of our providing more than 25 additional parking spaces. The additions are pretty much hidden from all the street views. Everything that the addition of the second story blends in fairly well with the height of the one-story manufacturing areas. The proposed addition that you see in the lower left is a filling in, if you will, of an existing overhang. So those items are not perceptibly additions to the building. As far as the proposed building to the right, the 53,000 square feet, that's separated well off of Long Hill Crossroad and cannot readily be seen from the street. The addition of the parking falls, again, as I said, all within the existing proposed disturbance areas from 2016. The commission, some members of the commission may remember that we had a railroad track proposed at one point directly above the existing building. And since we didn't end up building that, we are filling that in with 42 parking spaces. And that did not require any additional grading or construction. That area just will sit there. Will just be striped over existing pavements. As far as the parking, we are showing that we are providing all the parking that's necessary under the zoning regulations. And if you look under the site data, you could see that. We are, however, proposing that some of those parking spaces can be future spaces, primarily towards the left side of the building. On the left side of the building, you'll see some spaces that are in dashed format. One of the areas of parking spaces that the commission may want to question is the one that's within the front setback area. There is a 50% maximum impervious coverage in the front setback in the LIP zone. If those parking spaces were to be built, we would fall well within the requirements for that. We worked fairly closely with ANCO to make sure that we were providing all the spaces that they needed. They're very comfortable with even less than the actual hard spaces we're proposing, never mind the future spaces. But just to be sure that we covered the zoning regulations, we did add those future spaces. And the rest is sort of pro forma. If you go to the next page, Tom, it will be the grading and utility plan. One more. Yep. And as I say, this is more or less pro forma. We did all of these calculations under the 2016 approval. We assumed that this increased building size would be there. Not necessarily that it would be building, but that it would be pavement, so that all the drainage discharge calculations in the report, which has been submitted, are appropriately addressed. And the city engineer, I think, will confirm that the detention pond that we're proposing and the storm drainage that we're proposing is going to be adequate. And again, just for the record, we are proposing adequate soil erosion control plans. We have submitted a landscape plan for review by staff with the usual caveats that it's to be reviewed by staff and they're to make comments, and if any other landscaping requirements come up, we'll address those with staff. And if the commission has any questions, I'd be glad to answer them.
I don't recognize the plant that's on your landscape plan on the bottom right side, plant list. What is
Yeah.
it? What is that plant? Is that a tree? Good height?
Yeah, the only thing we're proposing is over on the northern side, which would be the left-hand side of the sheet, is really the only place where we it's not that we're disturbing anything over in that location. Those are white pines, but that there is some gaps in the existing foliage over there. And it seemed appropriate to add some white pines over there just to add a little bit of additional screening. Again, not that we're actually proposing any construction over there, but there is a little bit of a gap that you can see over to the residential area. So we're proposing some evergreens.
Okay. Is that it, Mr. Swift?
Yes, that's it.
Attorney Thomas, anybody going over this engineering drainage
That's-
report?
That's what he talked about. That's
Yeah.
what Mr. Swift spoke about, the engineering report that was based, they had done the calculations when they were here 5-6 years ago.
Yeah, if I could add to that, Madam Chair, I had a meeting with the inland wetlands staff and Remus, the city engineer, to make sure that they were up to speed on what had been done in 2016, submitted and approved, and what we were doing now. So not to speak for them, but I think they're pretty clear on what's going on here and you know, what we're proposing.
Attorney Thomas, does Mr. Lozinski want to make any comments?
Do you want to make any comments or?
Sure, come on up. Just identify yourself for the record.
Sure.
Dan Lozinski, Vice President and Owner, Anco Engineering, 217 Long Hill Crossroad. I'll happy to answer any questions. If not, I can give a brief overview of the company.
Go ahead.
Start there.
So we're in business about 42 years to date. We're family owned and operated, privately held business. My grandfather started the company in Bridgeport back in the day. You're talking the late 70s. We moved to a plant initially in Bridgeport, which was a small plant, about a couple thousand square feet. We grew out of that in a matter of a couple of years, moved to another plant in Stratford, Connecticut. And we're there until about 1992 when we moved to Shelton. At that time, we leased a portion of the facility that was there. I think Mr. Cinto was managing it actually for the owner. We had about 20,000 square feet back then, maybe about 20 employees back in 92. So we've grown substantially since then with the help of a bunch of good customers that we have. The industries that we serve are fairly high tech. Semiconductor is one of them. So you read about the CHIPS Act and things like that. We build a lot of the equipment that goes into making semiconductor computer chips. So that's a big part of our business and that's doing well. Airport security, things like 9/11. We built a lot of machines that went into airports for scanning your carry-on bags, luggage, things like that. Border and port security is a good industry for us as well. And a number of others. We're in probably 20 different industries, but mostly high tech. And that requires us to have high tech equipment, skilled people. Yes, we'll be adding more jobs, certainly with this expansion. A lot of our customers right now, we're not growing fast enough, frankly, for them. So we're trying to come to the plate and swing the bat. Expansions like this take some time. But we're increasing our manpower. We put on a second shift, things like that in the interim until we could build a facility to support the growth.
When would you expect to go to 3 shifts if necessary?
I think 3 shifts would be after the expansion. The plan is right now, we're pretty much solid on the first shift. We've grown as much as we can. We're about halfway through adding to the second shift as we speak. By the time the building comes around, we think we'll probably be at max capacity for second shift. And then it's time to expand the operation.
Okay. What about your deliveries and when your equipment leaves the plant? Is that daytime
Yes,
8 to 5 kind of
yes.
thing?
Customers are generally open during a first shift for their receipts,
Mhm,
and all of them are within 2-hour radius of our plant, the majority of them.
mhm.
There are some further out in the country, but we'll ship them with common carriers during regular first shift working hours.
But you
Do you
don't expect to load before 8 or after 5?
No,
Okay.
no, we don't.
You deliver or do they come pick up?
It depends. If it's a local customer, we'll deliver with our own fleet. If they're further than a 2 to 3 hour driving radius of our plant, then we'll send it through common carrier or through their contracted carrier.
Are you using 18-wheelers or what are you?
There are some 18-wheelers there. The majority of, because we're doing more high variety as opposed to volume, the majority of our trucks are shorter. They're 20 to 26 feet, so they're not the tractor
And they're
trailers.
parked on site?
They're parked on site, yes.
Any commissioners have any questions here or participating remotely?
Commissioner Onofrio, if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm just curious, how many employees are there now? And I know you mentioned that you'd be expanding employees. I'm just curious how many you anticipate to bring on.
Right now, there's about 150 in total between first and second shift. By the time we're done with the complete second shift expansion, we'll be somewhere around 200.
Does that include office staff?
Yes, both.
Mhm.
Office needs to support production and vice versa, so it needs to be unilateral expansion. That's the reason for the office expansion as well.
Mr. Panico, how about you? Do you have any comments, questions, or concerns?
No, I took the liberty of reviewing this a long time ago with Alex when we were trying to figure out what the variance needs were going to be. And it's a pretty well organized site. In ratio, we're really not adding very much,
Okay.
25% maybe. So
Okay.
it should work out fine.
Mhm. Very good. Okay, then, if there are any further questions, I'll open it up to the public.
Okay, how about a tour?
At any time, sure.
After the public hearing closes.
Yeah. So, Castro, anybody on the sign up sheet? And I'll start off, if there are any elected officials in the city of Shelton that are here in the auditorium that would like to make any comments. I don't see anybody that falls in that category. If there are any elected officials participating remotely, please use Zoom's raise your hand feature or dial *9 on your phone.
There are not.
And there are not, so I'll go into here who's present in the auditorium, and we have Ingrid Waters. Okay.
She's good.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Thank you.
Again. Hi,
I'm gonna stop share, by the way, or do you want me to leave it up with?
whatever you feel that won't interfere with the audio. So just identify yourself for the record.
Ingrid Waters, 261 Long Hill Crossroad, Shelton, Connecticut.
Mhm.
Since Long Hill Crossroad is a transitional road where light industry is existing next to homeowners, I wish to address blasting.
Mhm.
If blasting will become necessary, I sincerely hope that this activity is done in a controlled manner, that nearby residential homeowners will not incur any property damage.
Mhm.
Thank you.
That's it, Ms. Waters?
Yes,
Very good. Thank you very much.
okay.
Is there anybody in the auditorium that has not signed up that had wished to address the commission? Okay, is there anybody participating remotely, Ms. Castro, that have used Zoom's raise your hand feature? No. Or dial *9? No. Okay, Attorney Thomas, do you want to respond?
Mr. Swift, you answer the question on blasting.
Sure. Yeah, as I said previously, all the mass earthwork was done in 2016. I believe there was some blasting involved there. There is no mass blasting proposed in this. I think the most that we might expect is something in the way of just excavating a footing. And in this current construction technology that we have, I would expect that to be more in a hammering situation than a blasting situation. But absolutely no mass blasting, some very minor areas perhaps for a footing. That's the limit of it.
Okay, and if there is any need to do blasting, it will be getting in touch with the fire marshal and adhering to all the regulations that we have in the city of Shelton.
That's correct. That's the law of the city.
Okay, and then when you're referring to hammering, you're talking about using a jackhammer?
It's a hammer that is attached to the end of a large excavator.
Okay.
They're anything from the size of a wheelbarrow to, you know, some of what they call the big iron. They can be as big as a pickup truck. So, you know, companies that have that sort of equipment, it's much easier for them to, you know, put this hammer on the end of a large excavator and deal with it in half an hour than it is to you know, deal with blasting. So
Okay.
You're welcome to come and sit in front of my office and observe how I operate.
We've driven by. Yeah. Okay, are there any other further comments, questions, or concerns from the commission? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Chair, on the, for Mr.
Yep.
Commissioner Lasko, it says detention pond. Is that the same as a retention pond?
yes, it's not exactly the same. A retention pond does not have discharge. Most ponds these days are a combination of both. A detention pond has a small orifice or something of the like that completely drains out the pond. In these days, we generally have some area below the elevation of an orifice that would qualify as retention, but this is primarily a detention pond.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay,
In conclusion, I just would, for future reference, having gone through the variance procedure here, that at some point, I know you're very busy as a commission, but at some point, look at the LIP areas that are intermixed with residential zones or bordering residential zones to try to create a little more flexibility within the commission's ability, rather than having the businesses who need to expand that border on residential zones have to go get a variance. It's very difficult in some certain circumstances to prove a hardship. There may be a statutory change that would make it easier, but you can still have control under the special exception within your regulations, especially when you're talking about business expansions. And you do have a lot of zones, LIP zones, that border on residential areas.
got it. Okay, Mr. Panico, any final comments, questions, or concerns?
No, except in relation to Attorney Thomas's last comment. The commission looked very carefully at the borders of the LIP zone a long time ago, and they felt that in 99% of the cases, what they put into their regulations is what they wanted. And to do anything that would back off from that right now, unless you're very, very careful, you're liable to open up Pandora's box with respect to existing facilities that now want to encroach in what they've already set aside. So we could look at it sometime if the staff has some spare time on its hands, but it's not a real critical point right now. I don't think these circumstances that this property owner faced are very prevalent.
Okay. If there's no other further discussion, is there a motion to continue or close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Okay, there's a motion to close the public hearing from Commissioner Parkins. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay,
Commissioner
Commissioner Amato has seconded. So on the motion to close, made by Commissioner Parkins, seconded by Commissioner Amato, do a roll call. Commissioner Laskos,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio.
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Motion is passed by vote 6-0. As I noted at the beginning of the meeting, Commission can decide to take action on an agenda item immediately following close of public hearing. What's the feeling of the commission? Are there any concerns having to do with the deferred parking, the landscaping, the architecture, overall expansion of the building.
I think everything's been addressed.
Yeah.
We have no further,
Be nice
there was no questions raised or concerns.
No.
So
Was it? All right,
to go ahead and close it while it's
We
still
did.
fresh in our
Yeah.
minds, right?
do you have a resolution?
um,
prepared?
no, it's just, staff has explained that, this is just a simple vote.
So because it's special
Special.
exception. Okay.
So, if there are no other objections, is there anyone that wants to make a motion to approve this particular application?
I'll make that motion.
Approve?
Approve the application.
Okay, is there a second on the motion to approve the application?
I'll second.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Okay, it's okay. All right, so, seconded by Commissioner Onofrio. So on the motion to approve the application made by Commissioner Parkins, seconded by Commissioner Onofrio, I'll do a roll call. Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
Aye.
Commissioner Onofrio,
Aye.
and Commissioner Amato.
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Motion to approve has passed by a vote of 6-0. Okay, so, thank you very much. Continue good luck with the business. And when you're all ready, give us a call. We'd love to see your operations.
Oops, sorry.
Luck.
It's all right.
Okay, our final agenda item is approval of minutes. First, our minutes for October 18th, 2023. We had tabled at our last meeting. Does anybody have any comments, questions, or concerns for the October 18th minutes?
Okay to me.
Okay. All right, hearing none, is there a motion to approve the minutes as submitted?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, so there's a motion from Commissioner Amato to approve the minutes as submitted. Is there a second?
Commissioner Tiki will second.
Thank you, Commissioner Tiki. So on the motion, Commissioner Amato,
Aye.
Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
Aye.
Commissioner Parkins,
Although I watched the recording of the meeting, I was not present in person, so I will abstain.
okay, and Commissioner Onofrio,
I'd like to abstain as well. I wasn't at the 18th meeting.
okay, and the chair votes aye. Motion to approve the minutes has passed by a vote of 4-0 to 4-0-2. Next are the minutes for the October 25th meeting. The only thing I want to point out is at the bottom of page 2, under Roman numeral 6, new business, section A. The last two sentences were redundant, and I don't believe they were both intended to be in the minutes. They read except and set public hearing, and new sentence afterwards says except for review instead of public hearing. So I would recommend that, seeing that the motion after it said to accept for review instead of public hearing, the next to the last sentence be deleted from the minutes. Is there any other comments, questions?
I have a little concern with how my comments were represented on page 4. Second paragraph, after Commissioner Tiki had requested to have more information about where the bus depot, the bus stop was going to be, that I expressed concern about not having enough information as to the project being built the way we would expect it to be. If I recall, my comment was that I did not have familiarity with the developer himself in terms of, because we had just finished another public hearing, and there was a comment that Mr. Panico made about, we know the product that this builder, because we have experience with him. And it was more my comment was more in regard to, like, there was the dog park, the dog run, which hadn't been fenced in. They did not know that the state required charging stations. So that was where my concern was, not about how it was going to be built, but that there was, so I don't know how to say that, but I don't think it accurately reflected my comments.
Okay. Maybe something along the line of that you express your concern about not having
But there being outstanding information that hadn't
Mhm.
been addressed.
okay,
Maybe that's a better way to put it,
okay.
not about how the project would be built.
Outstanding issues, did you say, that needed
Yeah.
to be addressed?
Outstanding information.
Information that needed to be addressed.
Yeah.
You want to specify what?
As the fenced in dog park, fenced in dog run, and the lack of
The-
charging stations proposed.
Okay. All right. So,
I guess that'll.
Commissioner Parkins's sentence would read, Commissioner Parkins expressed her concerns that outstanding information needed to be addressed regarding the dog park at EV stations,
Right.
something along that line.
Dog
Okay,
run.
okay.
It's in the dark.
Dog
Dog
run. Okay.
But the doggies running into the parking lot.
No, that's for sure. Okay, so is there any other comments, questions, or concerns about the October 25th minutes? Is there a motion to approve as with the changes noted?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, there's a motion from Commissioner Parkins to approve the minutes of October 25th with the changes that were noted. Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, there's a second from Commissioner Motto. So on the motion, Commissioner Tiki,
Aye.
Commissioner Lascos,
I'm gonna abstain since I was excused.
okay, Commissioner Onofrio.
Aye.
Can't hear you.
Oh,
You-
aye.
Okay, thank you. Commissioner Motto. Aye. Commissioner Parkins.
Aye.
And chair votes aye. Motion to approve the October 25th minutes has passed by a vote of 5-0-1. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, seeing there are no other items on the agenda, the chair will declare this evening's meeting is going to be adjourned. And I just want to say one last time, thank you to alternate Commissioner Donato and alternate Commissioner Onofrio for participating on our commission. We will miss both of you. So chair is declaring the evening meeting adjourned as of 7:10 p.m. Okay,
Good night, everyone.
good night.
Good night.